What's good, fellow noobs? It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, I know, this took too long to make and it might fall off, but hey, never hurts to have a little bit of faith, right? So, you read the title, Rex's Maze. You wanna know what that even means? Well, citizens, I will explain this game, its origin and everything around it, celebrating New Kingdom Day. Oh yeah, there is that, by the way, New Kingdom Day. This event might become a yearly tradition with a new theme every year. I would say if this performs well, but knowing me, it'll be if I feel like it, sadly. I wanna change, but it's difficult. Anyways, this year's theme is the dead coming back to life, and obviously nothing could have been more fitting than two games that haven't been updated in more than a year, and a series which 80% of people thought was over. I mean, I can't speak for anyone obviously, but I guarantee at least one person thinks that since Noobington died, Nuclear Noobs is over. So, what is Rex's Maze? Rex's Maze dates all the way back to 2022, June to be more specific. Yes, Rex is 3 years old right now. The premise of the game was to be a remake of the first ever horror game, 3D Monster Maze. At the time there was only two versions of Rex, which are the exact ones seen in the game. Yeah, on its first version it was just two unchanging mazes, featuring Rex and Dark Rex, who is really just his original 1981 counterpart. Normal Rex is the 2002 remake's Rex, in case you were wondering. Anyways, I don't really know why I said at the time, because no newer versions have been made, to my knowledge. Back to the development. I played this old version with my friends for a bit, and I really liked it, so I made two more mazes, the Raptor Maze and Cyclops Domain, which was a big bedroom. They were unchanging mazes too, with the Raptor Maze being after you complete the Dark Rex Maze, and the Cyclops Maze a secret maze you could access from level 1. It wasn't very good though, because not only was it not much easier, but it also wasn't a shortcut. It put you into level 2 when you beat it, which makes it kind of just a waste of time. At this point, I had also made the first few batches of the game, so the level names were kinda decided there. So yeah, Rex's Maze is a 3D Monster Maze remake that spiraled out of proportion. The beginning of the storm. In 2023, I decided to attempt to turn the mazes into randomly generated ones. It was quite a challenge, especially because I posted it on Dev Forum and got zero help in the first week, so I left the post behind and did it myself. Perhaps the system is still slightly scuffed because of that, but anyways, I translated every maze into a randomly generated one and published the game like that. Also, instead of spawning in a box with nothing, I added a blue version of Rex with small pupils resembling Ugly Sonic. Ugly Rex is still in the game by the way, and even makes part of the lore. Ugly Rex was your guide, in the sense that he told you where to step in to start. And that's it. I mean, better than no guide, am I right? So, levels 1 to 3 were now randomly generated. What about Cyclops? Well, I just forgot about him. To be frank, he isn't even a dinosaur and it would have taken so much effort to adapt his giant ass to the new system. After this update, I played it again with my friends, and it was incredible. It felt like it had the potential to be an actual popular game. So, in that same year, I decided to plan the game's full release. All the dinosaurs had been planned since then, and I had the entire thing outlined in a notebook that I lost. Well, shit, but I still had the memory to remember it. At that point would have been the perfect year to release it. Garden of Banban and Poppy Playtime were battling it out, and Mascot Horror was at its peak. I made one last update, adding level 4, still with you going maze to maze with no in between and no mechanics. Mecha Rex was the final challenge, and a damn good final boss. The thing is that surviving him was like surviving a bear attack. All you need is a friend who runs slower than you. No joke, you legit could not do anything and he was faster than you. After this, I fixed Dark Rex's absurd speed, publishing the final version of Rex's Maze, Dark Fix, before beginning the super revamp. So, what the hell happened? Well, I always think that procrastination is a cancer, and here it absolutely was. You may recall that I started an ARG in 2023, and the 2023 Halloween special was Rex themed rather than Nuclear Noobs themed, which was 2024. Well, I shit you not, after making the first 5 levels in the Neo revamp, I straight up did not touch that shit for 2 years straight. No joke. Here's the problem though, the way I had made the game made it so that if I wanted to retry something at the very end, say for playtesting, I would have to go through the whole thing again, and again, and again, so I just got tired and never touched it again. The test plays, however, idk.rbxl, a classic of the God of Noobs games he has in his folder that he never opens, along with Ghostfight. Oh, you aren't ready for Ghostfight's story. So back to Rex's Maze. I touched IDK every few months, like every 3 or 5 months. I added 1 or 2 things, maybe even experimented, but that's about it. I remember considering making a FNAF fan game based on Rex characters. That idea is not out of the question, by the way. So yeah, every time I got bored making any other thing, I would just go back to idk.rbxl and do whatever, teeny little bits of progress. It wasn't ever very significant progress, until one day, in June of this very year, I got so bored I just started making everything. Deadass, no joke. I straight up made every asset the game would need because I was just bored. I added customization, made jump scares work, made every maze. It was crazy. In 2 months I only made 7 levels, and then in these like magic 2 weeks I made 3 levels with fully fledged mechanics and dinosaurs. It was crazy. Once that was done, I went back to the original place, Rex's Maze revamp in progress.rbxl, and continued the revamp. The air felt old, filled with nostalgia. It felt like visiting a place that hadn't been touched in decades. Only 2 years had passed, and it felt like I was visiting an old civilization's remains. So after all those 2 years, how did I manage to continue it? Well, I made a checkpoint system so that if I wanted to test something at the end of the game, I wouldn't have to play the entire thing from scratch all over again. Yep, that's what all these years had led up to. Also, I tried to re-piece together the old lore. It wasn't easy. Since I lost that notebook I mentioned a bit ago, I legit had to make up a few things because I just forgot who some characters were. Like, I had the main ones, but some, like the accompanying scientist, I had fully forgotten about. Yeah, it turns out XQZ originally wasn't the scientist accompanying Penguin C0, and I never figured out who it was. So yeah, we're at this point where it's like just 2 weeks before this script was written. Yeah, I am not kidding, this is extremely recent stuff. I finished the game in 2 weeks, dude. Damn. The final hour. I played this version with my friends, and it was shit. Not because it was a bad game, but it had 2 game-breaking bugs that made it unplayable. Instead of tons of small bugs, it was 2 enormous bugs. And that leads us to today. The game isn't fixed at the time of writing this script, but hopefully future me will have fixed it by the time the trailer is done. Spoiler alert, it is fixed. And that's Rex's Maze. As you can see, it totally could have been a hit, but it took too long. Way too long. Now mascot horror is past its prime, I believe. Not as many people talk about it for sure. We're talking if this game was released in 2023, it would have probably been my first non-flop. Sure, probably get a lot of shit thrown on me as well, but it still could have been cool to have all that popularity. Anyways, we suffer our own mistakes.
You didn't think I'd forget to talk about other things, did you?
Atomic Noobs will receive another big update, hopefully soon if I don't get bored mid-development like Rex's Maze. Hopefully not though, because it already has checkpoints. Nuclear Noobs will have an episode releasing tomorrow. It definitely took a ton longer than it should have, but I think you'll like it. Face Killer, I'm not sure I wanna work on it. Not many people seem to be requesting it. It barely has any visits, and there's just so much to do. It's fun, but I don't think I can update it this year. Would be sick though. Ultimate Zombie Desert Survival, I don't know if anyone remembers this game. It's like another one of those projects I will just pass to developers I find when I get the chance. It's not bad, but I already am working on other things. Same with Subtraction 2, Button Mashers, Scales and Swords, Build a Big Army. Actually, that one has a big update coming. Anyways, there's also God of Noobs Tower Defense, Peaceful Lands, Soul Freeing Simulator, Super Free for All, Watch NPCs Merge. I didn't even realize I had so many projects until now. Definitely selling half of them when I can. Too many to work with. As for critique videos, which some people do subscribe to see, I think those might take a backseat until further notice. It seems you guys don't like criticism, because holy shit, if you want essays, just visit the community videos comment section and you'll find more than you can do anything with. But do rest assured, if a clearly shitty game comes out with too much following for what it is, I most likely won't hesitate to make a video on it. Thanks for watching, noobs.